So, hello there, and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming, here with an insanely exciting The Hunter Call of the Wild video. I did not think I would be making this video anytime soon, if ever. So, as you may know, with the release of the new map, Sundarpatan, a new great one was also released. That new great one being the Tahr. And last night, I was out here grinding for a very, very long time, and finally, in the early hours of this morning, this guy spawned. And I just about lost my mind, and I still haven't fully recovered from seeing this guy spawn. This was just the most insane thing. Literally, I have had so many struggles with the Tahr and trying to learn about the Tahr. There's just been so many things. So, obviously, having early access to this map, Tahr were one of the 10 new species, so I hunted them quite a bit, trying to learn about them. We learned that these guys weren't going to have drink zones, and then we learned that Tahr were also going to be the new Great One. And there was so much, with that, how are we going to grind them, and how is it going to be to grind them? And there's just been a lot of learning alongside this brand new species, not only because of, how to hunt them, but also how to grind for a great one. And that's been a really interesting process to try and learn about these guys, because they are not a simple grind. So obviously having no drink zones, that makes things a little bit more complicated, but they also seem to have quite inconsistent zones and not always showing up, and sometimes zones seem to just delete themselves and just all kinds of crazy things. And I have been saying, I do not think I'm going to get this great one, which is something I do tend to say, especially with new great ones, is that I don't think I'm going to get them. But with the Tahr, I really genuinely believed that there was not very much chance I was ever going to get this one, just because I was having so many weird issues. For example, I was looking one day for more Tahr zones because I felt like my Tahr were being weird, and I found a zone location for 6 Tahr, put a tent and a tripod up to hunt them, and then the next time I came back, that zone had completely vanished. It was gone from the map, there was no tracks or anything in the area from Tahr, it was just gone. And I've been having those kind of issues, and so I've been saying, I really want to try and get one of these things, because I really, really like the Great One Tahr. For me, they're I'd say my second favourite Great One. I think they are absolutely stunning, and that's only been reinforced by this experience. But I've been saying over and over, I do not think I'm going to get one, but I'll try and see what happens, and I'll just keep going, whether, that's doing a little bit a day or going, sort of full on grind mode. And yesterday it was full on grind mode. I started at about 2 p.m. my time in the afternoon, and this guy spawned at about 5 a.m. and literally, aside from, I don't know, half an hour in multiplayer, because I just got a little bit frustrated with my Tahr respawns being so weird, and then I went back to grinding. I was grinding that whole time. I have killed, legitimately, it's well over 1,000 of these guys. I'd say closer to 2,000 if you include the kills in early access. When, of course, great ones could spawn, there was the potential for them to spawn. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for diamonds and rares, obviously, because we didn't know Tahr were going to be the great one until towards the end. But none spawned. And so I've killed a lot of these Tahr. A lot. I mean, not last night, but the night before, I bought 1,500 rounds of 300 ammo, which is what I used to shoot non-trophy Tahr. And by this morning, I was down to 700 rounds. I have been shooting a lot of these guys. And something I learned is that Great One Tahr are nigh on impossible to get close to, which is really unfortunate. But every time I got to within 40 meters of this guy, he would just automatically spook. It was like I'd gotten within that sort of 7-meter distance where animals just auto spook, but at 30 or 40 meters, it was really strange. Even being led down flat on the ground with perfect wind, not moving, he would still go from calm to attentive to alert to alarmed and then flee. And that was really unfortunate, but I did get a few nice clips of him, but then I decided it was time to take this incredible giant out. I mean, look at him. Look at this Tahr. He is just beyond beautiful. That is a work of art. are just the most incredible creature. And I never thought I would get a Great One Tahr. I was so confident. I was like, this is going to be the one grind that is never going to pay off for me. This is going to be the one. Because my zones are being so weird. And, like, I had a few diamonds in early access when I was hunting Tahr. But actually, since we came out of early access, I think I've only had 1 diamond. But look at this guy. He is just magnificent. That is just, I can't believe how beautiful this is. Like, it's insane. And I just, like I said, my respawns were just being so weird. I was getting so many small ones all the time. And then yesterday I had 2 level 5 spawn, both trolls, and I had 3 rares, 2 black fur types and 1 dark red. And I was like, my spawns are just so weird, and I'm not getting really any big Tahr, and the level 5s I'm getting are trolls. It's just, like, really discouraging and makes me feel like I have no chance at getting this great one. And then I go back to grinding, and he shows up. I was in a voice call with Kyla and Flinter, and we were all grinding Tahr, and I came up over the ridge because this particular setup, I have a tent and a tripod that kind of looks down like a little bit of a ridge, and they're sometimes at the bottom of that ridge, sometimes they're on the top, like next to where like my tripod is, sort of levels with that. And he was like down at the bottom, and I looked down and he was right there, and I just completely lost my mind. Like, I started hyperventilating, panicking, everything, because only a few of these have been shot. And he showed up. I cannot believe I'm sat here right now saying I have a Great One Tahr. Like, this happened now a few hours ago. I'll be honest, I had to go and have a nap after this, because like I said, I started grinding about 2 o'clock in the afternoon my time, and by the time I'd finished, you know, hunting this guy, all the recording and everything, and getting stuff ready to make this video later on in the day, it was like 7 AM, so I was really, really tired, but I still can't believe it. I'm freaking out just rewatching these clips. Like, there's no way this happened. Absolutely no way. And interestingly, looking at his true score, he is slightly uneven, which just gives him extra character, and it's so cool. And there's something as well that I want to talk about with the Fabled Gold fur type, because I feel like I am in some way sort of tied to this fur. Because, and this is going to sound maybe a bit silly, but when we knew that it was going to be the stream for the Great One Tahr reveal, and, you know, Jaxie was going to show us all the different furs and stuff, I was in the Hunter official Discord, and there may be people watching this video who were in that conversation, and I said I keep having thoughts about what if there is maybe a Fabled Gold or golden fur for the Tahr, because they have that sort of brownish colour fur, so maybe what if they just took it and they made it like a shiny golden colour. And we talked about, like, you know, there's the Fabled golden Great One Fallow, and then the first Great One Tahr that got showed off on stream was like basically this exact one. It was the Fabled Gold with these big horns. And when it first got brought up on screen, you know, Jaxie was on the dark, like the darker side. It wasn't with the sun on it, and it kind of looked just brown. And I was like, oh, you know, that maybe doesn't look so insane. And then he walked round to where the sunlight was hitting it, and I fell in love just with the absolute beauty of this thing. This thing is a work of art. This is so incredibly gorgeous. Like, it's got that metallic golden sheen, and then the black sort of on the hind legs and the underbelly really highlights it, and the gold stripe down the face. It's got eyes like amber. This thing is just absolutely insane. It is like a work of art brought to life. I cannot believe how gorgeous this creature actually is. He is so, so stunning. Just, it's insane. It's just insane how that worked. That I was thinking the whole time, once we knew that Tahr were the Great One, wouldn't it be cool if they had a Fabled Gold fur type? Then that's the first one we see on stream, and that's the one that ends up spawning. And in the official Discord and other Discords where I was talking about my Tahr grind, I kept talking about the fact that every time I see a light brown Tahr, it gives me a small heart attack thinking it's a Fabled Gold. And then the one that shows up is the Fabled Gold. It was just meant to be. This was the one that I think was meant to be, especially for my first one, just with how everything worked out. And I couldn't be more thrilled. This thing is so freaking beautiful. I mean, he is just absolutely gorgeous. I cannot express how happy I am with this. And I know I do it in every single one of these videos where I get a really, really special trophy like this and I ramble and say, oh, it's beautiful and oh, it's gorgeous about 100 times. But for me, this is legitimately one of the most exciting possible things to happen. Like, especially when I really did not believe that I had any chance at getting one. And then it just shows up like that. Just out of the blue. Like, I literally stopped grinding to go to multiplayer, didn't really find any sort of good things in multiplayer, was talking to Kyle and Flinter, they were still grinding, and then I think someone sent me some pictures of their Great One Tahr, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll try something different. Literally went back to grinding, and it was maybe 1 or 2 runs, and then he was there. It was just the most insane sequence of events. It was absolutely insane. I mean, just what a wild moment. And like I said, I've been grinding these guys hard. I have shot so many Tahr. I have been trying so hard to get one of these things to show up. And he showed up. He showed up. And it's so funny. Yesterday was probably the hardest I'd like fully gone on the grind. Like I said, I was going for a long time yesterday. That was probably the longest session I had done. And he shows up. He shows up really early in the morning, which is when my Great Ones seem to like to spawn, is really early in the morning. And yeah, I can't get over this. I'm so unbelievably thrilled. And I cannot wait to share this video. I had to go and have a rest because I could barely keep my eyes open. I was so tired. And I was like, okay, I need to have a sleep and then I can record this video and get it out. But I wanted to get it out as soon as I could. So literally I've woken up and then I've come and recorded this video. What a magnificent trophy. And these guys are really, really special. They are not an easy grind. I will think about making a Tahr grind guide, but there's still so much I've got to learn. I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to continue grinding. See, because I still want to get an albino. I've not had an albino Tahr yet. So, you know, there's still things I want to get. And obviously another Great One, if I could get one, that would be insane too. So there's still things I want to get for these guys. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to continue grinding, even if it's not, you know, 12-hour days, maybe do half a day multiplayer, half a day Tahr. But there's still so much I want to learn because they are so different to any Great One that has ever been in this game. And I do not want to put a guide out early and make a lot of mistakes. I would rather wait and be patient and learn as much as possible, because like even with the amount of kills I've got, which isn't, you know, like it's not like this was a 100 kill grind. We are probably close, I would say probably close to 2,000 kills, between 1,500 2,000 kills, something like that. I didn't count because I find that counting only drives me insane on these grinds, because you look at other people's grinds and it's like, oh, they got theirs in 200 kills. Why couldn't my grind be like that? Why, you know, is my grind broken? Is something wrong? All of these different things come into your head. Am I doing something wrong? And I just find that not counting helps me not have those kind of thoughts, and it just helps me just keep going and going and going, and that's what I did. And it paid off. And it paid off. And I still can't believe it. I feel like I'm dreaming. This really does not feel real. It was like an out-of-body experience when I spotted him. Just absolute, pure, total panic. But that is gonna be it for this video. Just an absolutely insane one. I wish I could have got more up-close footage of this guy. But the Tahr are extremely sensitive. I mentioned it in one of my early videos about Tahr. They do seem to have really, really heightened senses compared to other animals. And, you know, all of my usual tricks did not work on this guy. And so that's something else that, you know, maybe if I can get another one, there's maybe different things I can try, and again, learn more about how to really closely approach these guys and stuff like that. But it was just all so crazy, and I'm happy that I got some nice clips of him and that I get to finally share this video with you all. What an insane day. What an insane day. This is truly a momentous moment. But that is going to be it for this one. So thank you all so very much for all your amazing support. As always, you are all so kind and fantastic, and I really do appreciate absolutely everything, so thank you so much. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.